Okay, so imagine this. Israel's defense industry is not just about weapons anymore. It's about redefining global partnerships and even tackling mental health for veterans. That's where Amir Baram comes in.
And it's not just about Israel. These shifts could ripple across international defense policies and industries. Let's dive into it.
Welcome to DeActa Daily Digest. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Juniper. Here are today's top stories.
Let's start with Amir Baram, the civilian director general of Israel's defense ministry. He's been in the role since early 2025, but his career spans nearly 4 decades in Israel's security institutions. What's fascinating is how he's juggling international diplomacy, domestic defense production, and even welfare reforms for wounded veterans.
It's a lot to manage. One of his biggest challenges right now is negotiating a new Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with the United States. This isn't just another aid agreement. It's a broader defense partnership for the 2028-2038 period, but the process has been slow and the stakes are high.
Right. And timing is everything. If they don't finalize this MOU before the new U.S. Congress convenes in January, it could face even more hurdles. There's already resistance in Congress, with some members pushing to block weapons sales or pause military funding altogether.
And it's not just about politics. The U.S. has shifting priorities after conflicts in Iran and Lebanon, which have diverted attention from Israel's MOU discussions. Israeli planners had hoped for more progress earlier this year, but competing crises have delayed momentum.
Meanwhile, Bahram is also pushing for greater self-sufficiency in Israel's weapons production. Prime Minister Netanyahu has proposed a $350 billion allocation over the next decade to ramp up manufacturing. The goal is to prepare for prolonged conflicts and reduce reliance on foreign suppliers.
But that's a controversial stance. Some former senior officials argue that Israel's size and resources make it ill-suited for extended wars. They believe the focus should be on shorter, more decisive campaigns. Bahram, however, insists that the IDF must be ready for longer operations, especially given the likelihood of recurring confrontations.
And then there's the issue of defense exports. While some sales remain strong, like the Arrow 3 deal with Germany, overall exports to Europe have declined. Relations with France, for instance, have soured. Paris has restricted weapons transfers and limited Israeli participation in arms events.
In response, Bahram has stopped defense procurement from France and shifted to domestic purchases or deals with other partners. But there are bright spots, especially in Eastern Europe, and with countries like India, Greece, Cyprus, and the UAE. The partnership with India is particularly noteworthy.
Absolutely. They've moved beyond buyer-seller transactions to joint production and technology development. Forbes India reported about $8.6 billion in Israeli arms sales to India this year alone. They're even exploring local production of items like Tamir interceptors in India.
That's a significant shift, and it's partly influenced by changes in U.S. cooperation. After a partial U.S. weapons embargo in 2024, Israel has been diversifying its partnerships. Bahram is still prioritizing U.S. cooperation, but he's also looking to strengthen ties with other nations.
And on the domestic front, Bahram is tackling welfare reforms for wounded veterans. He played a key role in pushing through a reform to overhaul care for soldiers wounded in Israel's wars since 2023. This includes creating a near-independent authority to manage tens of thousands of emotional trauma cases.
It's a massive initiative, with current needs driving annual spending from NIS $5 billion to NIS $10 billion over the past few years. The reform involves an additional NIS $2 billion per year, plus a one-time investment of over NIS $500 million. It's a reminder that defense isn't just about weapons, it's also about taking care of the people who serve.
That's a great point. Bahram's work is as much about navigating political and economic challenges as it is about defense. And speaking of navigating challenges, there's another story in the digest about U.S. companies in the AI infrastructure space. It's fascinating how they're adapting to the demands of this rapidly evolving sector.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. Which companies are we talking about?
Astera Labs, Credo Technology, and Coherent. Each represents a different corner of the AI-related hardware ecosystem. Investors are scrutinizing these companies to understand how they're balancing growth with financial resilience.
Let me guess. Metrics like revenue consistency, margin stability, and cash generation are top of mind for investors?
Exactly. Astera Labs, for instance, focuses on data center connectivity solutions for AI workloads. Their performance is closely tied to their ability to manage costs and direct capital towards strategic initiatives. Credo Technology, on the other hand, specializes in high speed connectivity products. Their success hinges on product adoption cycles and relationships with major OEMs.
And Coherent, what's their angle?
Coherent is all about optical communications and engineered materials. They're a key player in the infrastructure that supports AI and data transfer. Investors are watching their revenue trends, margin trajectory, and how they're using capital to support growth or return value to shareholders.
It sounds like all three companies are navigating similar challenges, even though they operate in different niches.
Exactly. The common themes include demand durability, product and pricing dynamics, balance sheet flexibility, and operational execution. Companies with ample liquidity and disciplined capital management have more operational freedom, especially when conditions get tough.
It's a high stakes game, isn't it? And speaking of high stakes, there's one more story from the digest that I think we should talk about. The U.S. women's water polo team reaching the World Cup final.
Oh, that's right. They defeated Australia 10-6 in the semifinal. It was an impressive performance, with Jewel Romer and Paige Housechild each scoring twice. Goalkeeper Amanda Longan was named player of the match after making 10 saves.
It sounds like a solid team effort. How did the match play out?
The U.S. took an early lead and maintained it throughout the game. Their defense was particularly strong, especially in the final quarter when they held Australia scoreless. Special teams also played a big role. Both power plays and penalty shots were critical.
And now they're heading to the final against Spain. When's the match?
It's on Saturday, July 25th at 11:15 p.m. PT. It's going to be a thrilling showdown. Spain is a tough opponent, but the U.S. team has shown they can rise to the occasion.
Absolutely. From defense diplomacy to AI infrastructure to water polo, today's stories really highlight the breadth of human endeavor, don't they?
They do. It's a reminder of how interconnected our world is and how every story, whether it's about national security, technological innovation, or sports, reflects a broader narrative about resilience, strategy, and ambition.
Well said. Let's keep following these stories and see how they unfold.